The fighting is still far from over in Libya. Muammar Gaddafi's whereabouts unknown, and yet on the diplomatic front, government's moving quickly to try to assert more support for the rebel Transitional National Council and try to rush funds, badly needed funds, to this rebel organization. The meeting that will be taking place here today is at the political director level. That means that the U.S. Undersecretary of State William Burns will be representing the U.S. side. The Libya Contact Group is basically an alliance of the U.S. and Turkey and a number of Arab and European governments that quickly voiced their opposition to Muammar Gaddafi and tried to throw more support behind the Libyan rebels. Big concern here is the money. As you mentioned, the U.S. is trying to unfreeze more than $1 billion worth of Libyan government assets to hand them over to the rebels. They've been blocked, we're hearing so far, from the South Africans, who had very close and historic ties to the Gaddafi regime. What we've learned is that Turkey in the past month has been helping bankroll the rebel council, pledging $300 million to the Transitional National Council starting last July, $100 million in cash last July, followed by credits and loans that are still in the pipeline to that rebel council and helping pay for not only salaries, but also for food. Zane?
And Ivan, what's the latest from your reporting in the way that Turkey is viewing the situation today in Libya?
Well, the Turkish foreign minister, he flew to Benghazi just in the last 2 days and held talks with Mahmoud Jibril. They're very keen on trying to maintain Libyan unity. They do not want this country to fall apart. And Turkey is one of a whole host of nations that had significant investment, billions of dollars tied up in Libya, not only in trying to get Libyan crude oil out of the country, but also had significant construction projects there. I think a lot of these countries are going to want life to get back to usual as fast as possible so they can try to rebuild that country and also try to recoup some of the financial losses over the past 6 months. Turkey also stressing the need to help immediately starting to rebuild Libya. And we know that the French President Nicolas Sarkozy, who of course has helped push the military drive to overthrow Muammar Gaddafi, he has also reportedly been in contact with the rebel council to try to hold some kind of a meeting, some kind of a conference in Paris on September 1st. This meeting today could be a precursor paving the way to that proposed meeting, Zane.
And Ivan, with the possibility of $1 billion being released to go to the Libyan Transitional Council to rebuild and govern Libya, is there any question about whether the money will go to the right places? Is there a mechanism of monitoring where all that cash would go?
Boy, that sure is a good question, especially in the tumult that we're seeing, and especially that we've seen that the rebel Transitional National Council has been riven by some infighting, and even just a few weeks ago, one of the rebel factions allegedly murdering the rebel military commander, Abdel Fattah Yunus, and setting fire to his body and dumping it in a valley. Those types of things really should raise some questions when you're talking about unleashing, releasing more than $1 billion in funds to this organization that clearly has some leadership problems, and those kind of concerns should definitely be coming up. South Africa has gone on the record saying that at this point it's too early to start releasing these funds to the rebel council.